People are not only heroes, they're also very smart. While other people try to push out a trapped animal, this couple uses a jack and makes it look easy. When these ducklings fell into the water and couldn't get up, their mother called for help, and help came quickly. This man did not hesitate to go into the water and reunite the ducklings with their worried mother. Those guys are true heroes. This man put his own life in danger to save a distressed wolf. The man used his one hand to try and free the wolf's paw from the trap, while using his iron rod to safely keep the beast at a distance. The animal was in excruciating pain, so it took him a few tries. But when it was finally released from the trap, the dangerous animal stayed there in a tense standoff with its savior.
Get out of here. Go on. He's exhausted.
Wildlife workers in Kruger National Park in South Africa found a buffalo herd that was stuck in mud. They had tried all night to get out, but instead, they had just sunk deeper and deeper. Now, buffaloes, especially when they're in distress, are very dangerous to approach, making it a very risky rescue mission. But these guys decided to take that risk in order to save them. After getting all that help from wildlife workers who saved their lives, this is how the buffaloes thanked them. Like, come on man, don't be rude. You gotta show some gratitude around here. River, the animal was so tired that it asked these fishermen for help, and luckily, they were kind enough to give it a ride back to shore. Unfortunately, this is an accident that can easily occur, but the result can be devastating. I don't even want to imagine what the outcome would have been if he wasn't there to save the day. It didn't even take a second until this hero ran to its rescue. The dog was terrified and at first didn't know his intentions. But eventually, he managed to drag the dog to safety. The farmer gives the porcupine some much-needed water. That looked abandoned with a cat that was stuck inside. The cat was crying for help, so they decided to force the window open and save it.
Jeez.
A pack of wild pigs actually brought their kids to play at the playground. All except for two of the piglets were able to find their way out, so people had to call the fire department to help them. On his way to work, this man found 3 seemingly abandoned kittens. The poor things were frozen into the ice and had been there all night. Luckily, this kind-hearted man sacrificed his morning coffee to free the poor little creatures.
Don't drink the coffee here. Let me have. Someone dumped you guys, eh? That's okay.
Trying to circumvent man-made infrastructure to carry on with your grazing journey is really difficult for wild animals, like this deer who had to jump over a fence but got its foot stuck in a difficult position. But thankfully, there are people like this guy who go out of his way to free the poor animal.
Easy, 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 easy.
This baby deer might not be the most clever yet, so he's very lucky to have some kind hunters nearby. After being stuck in a fence for hours and finally freed, the young fawn ran to the other side of the property and got stuck in another fence.
And he went through the fence.
We're naming him Fence Fawn. It's Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn.
The fawn was eventually freed for the second time and safely transported to a trail several hundred feet away where it could return to the foothills and reunite with its mother. Confused leopard had fallen into a deep well. These locals decided that they were going to save its life. They knew that they were playing with fire, so first they tried to lower a cage in order to then pull up the dangerous animal. But as you might have guessed, the leopard was not very keen on entering the cage. So then, in a spectacular and high-risk rescue, the guy sacrificed himself to be lowered down and try to persuade the animal, and it actually worked. Seemed like things couldn't get worse for this abandoned dog. He got electrocuted. The next 5 minutes of his life were critical, but miraculously, he came back to life.
Caraca!
This one-day-old deer was already out on an adventure all alone when it quickly found itself in a dangerous situation.
Really, let's see if she gets out. Back up, Anthony. The mother won't like that.
Thankfully, this family saw the situation unfold and helped the animal to survive its first day.
Go on the other side, grab her out. Just grab her out. But when you get her out, just let her go, because the mother's not going to be happy. Go ahead. Just let her go. It's okay, she just go on. But then leave her. Just back up. Let's get away from her. Let the mother come.
Down a well, this leopard is in a whole lot of trouble. But luckily, help is at hand, and villagers spent 12 hours rescuing the dangerous animal. When it was finally out, forest officials transferred the leopard to a zoo where it would be safe. You thought that quicksand was just something that Hollywood made up? Then you're wrong. In only a matter of hours, a huge camel was stuck in quicksand right up to its chest. By the end of the day, no one would have even known that it was there, but luckily, someone noticed the animal just in time and helped.
Yay! Woo! Well done, everyone!
Clinging onto the edge of the ice to not fall into the freezing cold water, this man came up with a clever idea to save the desperate animal. He grabbed a shovel and used it to give the dog the little push it needed. A terrified penguin managed to jump onto a boat just in time to escape a pod of killer whales.
Now the orca's gonna jump in.
The kind people then took it to safe waters, far away from the predators. Shore and in the middle of heavy boat traffic, but luckily, these guys just happened to be passing by and offered to give him a free ride.
You shouldn't feel like a fish out of water. There you go.
When James saw a Facebook post about some deer stuck in the middle of a frozen lake, he called up his dad and they broke out their hovercraft.
Well, let's grab that other leg.
They pulled off a father-son rescue mission unlike anything you've ever seen. A humpback whale, one of our planet's most majestic creatures, was found stranded on a beach in Brazil. Astounding footage taken by amazed onlookers shows how tears stream down the whale's face as if it's mourning its own death. But then, the unthinkable happened. These heroes came together and managed to push the whale back into the ocean, saving its life. And save it. That was until this man gave it quite a surprise.
Don't
Don't try to flex on me. Get out of here.
Stranded on a beach in Brazil, that's when a group of upstanding citizens decided to come together and help save the precious animals and get them back to the ocean where they belong. They each grabbed a dolphin and pulled them out to sea where it was deep enough for them to swim away. Here's another cow that got stuck in the mud where farmers had to drag it out with a tractor. A man's quick thinking saved this little kitten from being run over by a car. A woman rescues a clumsy kitten from being buried under the snow. It's not always animals that need support, sometimes humans do too. So when this farmer felt sad and lonely, these dogs fetched the cows to cheer up their owner together. A price for leaving the safety of its yard. It's awful to think what could have happened if this man had not come to the rescue. Couldn't see anything and was sure it was being stalked by a predator, but to the animal's surprise, it turned out to be its savior instead. Those were not mad at the cat for trying to steal their milk, and the container was eventually pulled off the feline's head and it was set free. Got back from mowing when he spotted one of his cows stuck in a ditch.
She's more important than my willies. Down there.
Together with his dad, he got his tractor and grabbed some tools for the tricky rescue mission.
Go through there. Saw that. I thought something's wrong there. Me being the farmer in me, she's doing a green poo, so that means she might be alright.
Look how happy the other cows are to finally reunite with their friend.
That's what we want to see.
Ganged up on a defenseless cat. The cat tried to fight them off, but to no avail. But suddenly, this man sees the incident and rushes to scare away the cruel dogs and save the poor cat's life. In a heartbreaking incident captured on camera, a man can be seen pulling over by the side of the road and callously pushing his German Shepherd out of the vehicle. As the man hastily drives away, the distressed but loyal pup chases after its owner's car, but to no avail. Thankfully, several compassionate bystanders witnessed the incident and managed to rescue the pup.
Just a puppy.
They immediately called animal services to get assistance for the dog, and the police were eventually able to arrest the dog's heartless owner.